Welcome to your favorite television program that teaches and updates you on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. If you're interested in learning more, please stay with us. I'm Adrian Atkinson, and I'll have more for you after this break.
Jamaicans, practice proper disposal of garbage, and if items can be reused, recycle them. We all have a part to play in protecting our environment from pollution. We are building Jamaica.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, April 16, 2024. Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Darrell Vaz, has welcomed private investment in renewable energy that is benefiting both commercial and national objectives. Mr. Vaz last week applauded the investment by LASCO distributors into a 500-kilowatt solar PV and solar battery energy storage pilot project at its White Marl plant in St. Catherine.
Its completion also makes it one of Jamaica's largest commercial solar and storage projects to date. Not only will it supply inexpensive, reliable electricity to power LASCO's operations, but also expected to supply clean electricity and emergency backup power to the neighboring Central Village Community Center by a smaller system.
The $2 million project was undertaken in partnership with technical support from the University of the West Indies, UWI, and financing from USAID. It was implemented through the Jamaica Energy Resilience Alliance. Executive Chairman of LASCO Group of Companies, James Rawle, expressed great expectation from the support being provided by the UWI.
The system is up and running, and I think right now it is delivering all the needs of the distribution of LASCO distributors at this moment. A key part of the project that we had interest in was the research that should follow, in-use research, which will be guided by the University of the West Indies. They will collect data, critical data, to guide the process. We are open to working with the university to train people, so we develop a cadre of professionals with knowledge of PV systems.
The UWI research team will conduct critical research into utility-scale batteries for distributive generation. This is in line with the government's mandate to achieve the goal of generating 50% of electricity from renewable energy sources and inform future commercial solar deployments nationwide. Chief Justice Brian Sykes says a series of training for the leadership corps within the judiciary is projected to roll out in 2025. The development of training programs is being done in alignment with the strategic business plan for 2024 to 2028. Justice Sykes says this will be facilitated by the Court Administration Division, CAD, along with other sector stakeholders, targeting judges, registrars, board administrators, and supervisors. This is to develop the skills and competencies in managing the courts. Justice Sykes was addressing the official launch of the strategic plan on Wednesday at the Terra Nova All-Suite Hotel in St. Andrew. He adds that the CAD will also see structural changes to better serve internal stakeholders.
What we wish to do here to improve the professionalism within by which the courts are operated. And so this strategic plan is designed to take us there.
President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Patrick Brooks, says the new strategic plan caters to all members of the judiciary.
This new business plan carries with it several treats for the stakeholders, with the core values of fairness, accountability, impartiality, integrity, independence, innovation, and respect. And that goes into the acronym FAIR. And commitment, communication, courtesy, accessibility, responsiveness, and empathy. And that goes into the acronym CARE. It involves a robust enterprise risk management system to ensure its sustainability and mitigate against numerous threats.
The Jamaica Business Development Corporation, JBDC, is highlighting the need for more partnerships that will foster the growth and success of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs. Chief Executive Officer Valerie Vera says collaboration among government, corporations, and MSME stakeholders is a crucial enabling factor to achieve this vision.
We're really looking forward to even a stronger relationship in the new period, because unless we partner, we're not going to get a lot of things done, because each of us bring different food to the table. And for us to move forward, we all have to contribute where we can and how we can.
Ms. Vera was addressing the JBDC's annual Breakfast with the CEO, hosted recently under the theme Strategic Partnerships, Facilitating Business Success. The event was held to address the various challenges impacting MSMEs and to put forward solutions to unlock the full potential of the sector. It examined the role of ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, and other entities in facilitating the success of MSMEs. It also looked at the gaps that exist and how to address them and bring them in alignment with the updated MSME and entrepreneurship policy. The policy speaks to fostering an enabling environment, access to affordable and appropriate financing, adequate business development support, and creating a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation. 5 St. Andrew families now have decent homes thanks to the government's new social housing program, NSHP. Mother and daughter duo Claudia Ford and Tracy Ann Benjamin lost their home when fire engulfed the structure. The situation was the same for sisters Odette and Jacqueline Finlay. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who was on hand to deliver the units, says that though the process can seem overwhelming at times, proper assessment needs to be followed to ensure accountability for public funds.
And there are many layers of administration in place to ensure that every dollar that is spent is wisely spent, is efficiently spent, and that there is no corruption in how the resources are used. That itself takes time. And then there are processes for procurement, and then there are approvals and permits to be had, and then we have to secure the legal rights to wherever we are building. So all of that takes time, in addition to the time it takes to assess the application.
Another beneficiary, Patrick Spencer, who was living in substandard conditions, applied for a home repair grant. However, due to the severe condition of his house, his application was advanced to receiving a unit under the NSHP. Jamaica is among countries across the world participating in the 9th Our Ocean Conference, OOC, in Athens, Greece. The contingent is being led by Minister with Responsibility for Climate Change, Senator Matthew Samuda. Among the key areas to be covered are climate change, biodiversity loss in marine protected areas, and sustainable fisheries. It will also examine sustainable blue economy, marine security, and marine pollution. Following the Our Ocean Conference, Minister Samuda will journey to Cyprus for the Commonwealth Ministerial Meeting on Sustainable Use of the Ocean from April 18 to 19. Its agenda is guided by the theme, Our Resilient Common Ocean, from Cyprus to Samoa. Minister Samuda says Jamaica will be drawing on the support of international partners to address ocean-related agendas and to implement shared international commitments. And finally, several activities are being held this week to promote the teaching and learning of mathematics. National Mathematics Week is being observed under the theme, Adding Up the Excitement, Math Rocks. On April 17, activities will be held at the Mico University College in Kingston, Monroe College in St. Elizabeth, and Ashley Primary School in Clarendon. The series of events will culminate on April 18 at Port Road Sports Club in St. Anne, Port Antonio High School in Portland, and Cornwall College in St. James. The Education Ministry's Mathematics Coordinator for Region 7, Kamei Johnson-Burrell, gave an update at a recent JIS think tank.
Separate and apart from the regional math activities, we'll be having a mathematics question of the day for both primary and secondary students, and we're going to start this from Sunday, April 14th, and we're going to close off on Friday, April 19.
She says students will also be able to put their math knowledge to the test by answering questions of the day on the Education Ministry's social media platforms throughout the week. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Let's get a recap of what happened in the office of the Prime Minister this past week.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness last week responded to the drought affecting the island on a national level with measures for the next 4 weeks. An emergency drought mitigation fund of $150 million has been activated to finance the trucking of water and limited procurement and distribution of water tanks. Making the announcement in Parliament on Tuesday, Mr. Holness said the response would benefit 50 constituencies with an initial allocation of $1.5 million to each. Mr. Holness said further allocations of $2.5 million each would be made to selected constituencies in Clarendon, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover and St. Anne. The municipal corporations in these parishes will also receive $5 million, with the exception of Hanover and St. Anne, set to get $7.5 million each.
So we will have reserve of $5 million. And that reserve we will use to treat with the 13 constituencies that are not given an allocation. But if an emergency were to arise, or the Member of Parliament is able to point out that there is a specific community that needs some service, then from that $5 million we would be able to respond over the next 4 weeks.
An allocation of $60 million is also directed to assist farmers affected by the dry season. The Ministry of Agriculture will use this for the trucking of water and the distribution of drip irrigation hoses, as well as other support to livestock farmers. Mr. Holness reminds that drought response started before this allocation, with measures to western parishes that are most affected. Approximately 900 farmers also benefited from the trucking of water, another 45 from pond liners, and others from the distribution of 58 water tanks and 400 drip hoses.
So that's significant assistance to our farmers in this time of great need in the drought. I have instructed the Minister of Agriculture to ramp up the program as we enter into the heights of our dry season.
Meanwhile, Mr. Holness reveals that 47 water systems across the island are being affected by the drought. At the time of his presentation, the Hermitage Dam was at 79.1% and the Mona Dam at 77%. The Meteorological Service of Jamaica gave a glimmer of hope, even as it reported that the dry spell may spread to other parishes. The rainfall outlook for April, May and June is for a gradual increase for south central parishes and near normal for north central and eastern parishes.
We see that there is some improvement that is likely to occur. It probably will not set in immediately because we are in the month of April, and as we see in this forecast here, or the outlook, it shows that the western part of the island will continue to experience quite a bit of dryness, even more so than the rest of the country. Others will gradually start to see the rainfall coming in, and we expect it to become above normal, but this might happen more toward the end of this period. This is in May, in June, when we expect the secondary rainfall peak to occur across the country.
To build the resilience of schools in times of drought, Prime Minister Holness has instructed the Ministry of Education and Rural Water Supply Limited to carry out an island-wide assessment of schools. This is to identify and create areas for water harvesting.
So what we have asked the Rural Water Supply Company to do is to partner with the Ministry of Education to assist our schools in developing their water resilience plans, which would also include how we develop infrastructure or how we can repurpose existing infrastructure to become water capture, storage, and distribution within our schools. We intend to replicate this model right across Jamaica.
That model is the Morant Bay Urban Centre in St. Thomas, which is on schedule for completion in September. Prime Minister Andrew Holness journeyed to the parish for a first-hand update on the development. He asserted that upon completion and the vast range of services to be derived, the facility would attract further developments in the surrounding area.
As I look around with land space that seems to be available, I am certain that even more private investment interest is going to be displayed, and I am almost certain that in short order there will be housing and residential development around the perimeter of this development.
Mr. Holness emphasized that the Morant Bay Urban Centre was powering the development for the people of St. Thomas.
Many households are going to benefit from the economic and social opportunities that will be curated right here in this 28-acre development. We have a university here, we have training facilities here, we have joined up government here, we have food, recreation and commerce right here, we have light industry right here.
The 436,000 square feet development is being constructed at a cost of approximately $6 billion through a partnership involving the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, NCB Group, and China Harbour Engineering Company, CHEC. Over in St. Andrew, Prime Minister Holness shared in the joy of home ownership with 5 families. The beneficiaries are from West Rural, East Central, and Eastern St. Andrew. He disclosed that in addition to building housing units, persons could also benefit from housing grants for general repairs.
Patrick's application, which was the route for a building grant assistance, that was investigated and assessed. And as you can see here, this was the unit in which he was living. But when the assessment was done, the unit felt that a grant would not make any material difference in his life, and therefore they turned it over to the social housing component, which is what we normally do when the MPs send in the recommendations for housing. This recommendation came through the social assistance units. So there are several routes towards the social housing program. And I believe Patrick would have been the 3rd or 4th such beneficiary that would have come through that route.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness also made one-on-one time for key stakeholders in social and national development. They include the members of the Jamaica Council of Churches, President of the African Exim Bank, and CEO of the Amber Group and CEO of David Gresham Entertainment Group. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
If you have a small business or you're looking to start one, it would be a good idea for you to know about the resources available and the steps to ensure success.
Micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs, have a key role in Jamaica's sustainable economic development and growth. By their sheer numbers and mean income from exports, these entities could substantially cut or eliminate the country's trade deficit and significantly boost GDP. The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce is on a mission to get more MSMEs to export and earn bigger profits from larger markets as it seeks to unleash the significant wealth creation potential of this sector. Through its MSME Roadshow initiative, the ministry is taking its services to these businesses to get them ready, set, and into the export market. The Roadshow is being initiated in partnership with the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB.
IDB is really happy to partner with the ministry on this initiative, for we are committed to promoting and providing support to private sector growth in Jamaica.
Through 4 initial roadshow stagings, with the first held in Mandeville, MSME operators have been getting information on business development support, government incentives, and export opportunities. The events are also providing a space to create new linkages, networking, and business partnerships with a large gathering of public and private entities.
Every single entrepreneur must understand that we must export. I'm encouraging you to make things that Jamaican people will eat and buy, but you must lift your mind to a place where you're exporting.
Though small, the multipliable effect of their employment and income generation is huge. The MSME sector in Jamaica numbers over 400,000 entities. These account for 34% of the employed labor force, and it's estimated that tax-paying MSMEs account for 97% of all classified and registered enterprises in Jamaica.
The MSME sector is a vital driving force that is propelling the creation of jobs and growth in Jamaica's economy. It is vital. All these small businesses, some of them hire 3 people, some hire 10, some can hire 25, some will hire 12. Every single job is vital, important to this country.
And I like to say simply, if every MSME, through additional work and support, employs 1 person or 1 more person, we are talking about growing the employed labor force in Jamaica by over 400,000 people. If we got 25% of all MSMEs to export $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year. If my calculation is correct, we would be talking about $1 billion of export.
Operating commercially and in the global space requires formalization and adherence to standards which the ministry is offering businesses. And so the road shows include a business pitch competition, business forum, an expo, and presentations to provide information on services being offered to the MSME sector. Also, for greater efficiency and ease of trade, the ministry is supporting digitization of businesses and their access to affordable financing.
Together with our esteemed partners from the Inter-American Development Bank, we embark on a journey to empower our MSMEs. The Business Roadshow serves as a platform for knowledge exchange, networking, and inspiration, fostering an environment where these businesses can not only survive, but they will thrive. We need to inspire each other. We need to hear from each other. What are you doing? Are you making bamis bigger size, smaller size? Are you making stuff in sauces that you're looking to export?
Growing the country's per capita income in line with that of rich nations by producing and selling more goods and services to the point of sustained trade surplus is reason enough every Jamaican in business needs to get into the act of exporting where possible.
Now suppose we get 50%. If we get 50%, that cuts off about half of the negative trade balance that we had in 2021.
For the benefit of tipping the trade scale in Jamaica's favor, the government is assuring small businesses of all the help they need to grow.
I talk about JAMPRO and who else can help them. JBDC is vital to MSMEs on the ground. So because they hold your hand, they show you how to do a business plan sometime, how to make your business better, how to register your business. The Companies Office of Jamaica, one of the 20 agencies of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, is a crucial agency that assists MSMEs in becoming export ready. What do we mean by that? The Company Office of Jamaica helps to register and regulate businesses, ensuring companies are credible when conducting business transactions globally.
MSMEs are encouraged to use the benefits provided by the ministry, including productive inputs relief and import duty and income tax relief for the importation of equipment or raw materials.
Go look for good equipment, import it. Make sure you talk to the ministry and say, you have a plan. When we agree with your plan, Exim Bank is there to help you. With such targeted support, we are committed to strengthening these engines of innovation and chart a course toward shared prosperity.
Realizing our potential to become a rich nation means selling not only to 3 million Jamaicans at home, but also to consumers around the world. Are you ready?
Are you an entrepreneur producing an excellent Jamaican product or service? Did you know you can earn hard currency and more significant returns by exporting? Contact the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce to help propel your business along the export lane.
Everything you can produce, the Jamaicans overseas want it. We're not going to get rich by just bringing down the debt. We're going to get rich by exporting a lot more. So grow exports, create job opportunities, drive economic growth through exports to make Jamaica a richer and much more prosperous country.
One of the problems that occurred in the past was the significant delay in the issuing of warrants for persons who did not pay at the tax office and did not attend the court. And so what happened there was that a culture of impunity had developed, where persons felt that when they received a ticket from the police, they could simply ignore it. So where we are now is that we are now current with the issuing of warrants in respect of the current cases. So what that means is that for persons who do not pay at the tax office, don't attend the court, the warrants are being issued and will be issued, and you will be arrested and brought before the court. If you do not wish to come to court, then go to the tax office. Also, you have the option of contesting it, so you don't pay at the tax office, but you must turn up at court on the date and time stated in the summons. Failing that, a warrant will be issued and you will be brought before the court.
We're at the end of our program, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup geared towards providing you with information on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. You may visit our website in the meantime at gis.gov.jm to rewatch this show or to catch up on lots more. I'm Adrian Atkinson from the entire production team here at the GIS. Thank you so much for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.